We all get addicted to something. It's just human nature. That TV show is just so good. This song is so fire. My streamer is the GOAT. My parlay missed by one leg. I can't stop swiping my credit card for hot anime women. Games are no different. There's something that always scratches the itch. League of Legends, Overwatch, Valorant. I'm sure we've all had our fair share of those games. But for the last few months, I haven't been playing any of those. I've been playing a game that's not even out yet. One you can only access with an invite from another person. A game on its, at the time of recording, 6,405th update. That game is Deadlock.
I was relieved for the community, man, because he was over there torturing them guys, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Something was wrong with him. That's not human, man. He's not regular.
Fight back!
We are so fun. That looked pretty cool, right? Or not. If it didn't just leave, I guess. But if it did, I'm sure you're wondering, what is Deadlock? Deadlock is a new MOBA game in testing from Valve. You know, the Steam guys. The guys who made the first ever battle pass in Dota. The guys that put loot boxes in TF2 and CSGO, making gambling in video games popular. Now that I think about it, these guys have kind of ruined. Deadlock isn't your standard MOBA like Dota or League of Legends. It has objectives, jungle camps, items, and minions like those games, but you actually move your character with WASD. I guess you can do that in League now, but I mean in a traditional third-person shooter sense. So it's like Smite? Yeah, sure. We all played Smite, bro. Deadlock is a complicated game. It's hard to describe without making comparisons. Like, Deadlock is a third-person hero shooter MOBA where the players aim to lead their minions into destroying the enemy base with a large roster of characters and items with several layers of counterplay that also has a heavy focus on movement and even implements mechanics like parrying. Yeah, that's a lot. So let's dumb it down by mentioning things that you've probably seen before. There's a handful of games out there that will give you shortcuts to understanding or being better at Deadlock. Just so you know, you can mod this game, like a lot. You'll probably see them in this video, so try to ignore it. Deadlock at the core is a MOBA. Minions, neutral objectives, economy, macro, large roster, items, all that kind of stuff. 3 lanes, 2 bases, and a bunch of stuff in between. Obviously, Valve has made this kind of thing before with Dota, and Riot came out with League of Legends soon after. Any experience you have with MOBAs will lend itself well to the macro aspects of Deadlock. Macro refers to map-wide decision making. Understanding where you have to be and when is super important to maintaining a healthy economy, as well as being in proper positions to help win the game. But knowing where to be is only half the battle. Deadlock is also a third-person shooter. Everyone has a gun, and technically everyone can build gun items. Everyone also has 4 abilities. There are characters that rely heavily on aiming and tracking for extended periods of time, but there are also characters that have very high impact single-use abilities that require more positioning than aim. You can compare this to hero shooters like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals, but any experience with shooters will translate to your aim in Deadlock being better. Deadlock, being created by Valve, is hosted in the Source Engine. The Source Engine has brought us amazing cultural pieces like and Deadlock's skill expression and movement can be quite similar. You can air dash, slide, wall jump, air strafe, you name it. Rotating around the map is a skill in itself. Just compare how fast you can get around the map only walking versus using some of your stamina. It's way faster. Celeste, Flash, and Holiday are some of the characters you'll be seeing flying around the map. Interestingly enough, there's also some fighting game influence in Deadlock. There's a whole melee and parry system wrapped into the game. Everyone can light melee or charge for a heavy melee. Any light or heavy melee can be parried, including the minions or the towers. If a player is parried, they'll be stunned. Parrying a light melee is kind of based on luck or just a hard read. While heavy melees make an extremely distinct sound which helps you react to it. This is similar to something like Drive Impact and Street Fighter. So, I'm playing some kind of League of Legends, Overwatch, Apex, Street Fighter hybrid? Yeah, but put all that aside for a second because Deadlock still feels extremely unique. Even in a closed test, there's still so much polish, charm, and individuality to the game. The story is already pretty fleshed out. All the characters are participating in the ritual because the patrons behind each team will grant them a wish upon their victory. Characters like Seven want to ascend to godhood, Bebop wants to cure his mother, Victor wants to find out who made him and who he's made up of. There's a lot of lore that you can read in this game, like this Japanese I can't read, or this extremely compelling bit about Jacob Lash. A lot of characters already have interactions with each other, being conversations or quips upon killing them, showing a lot of personality for a game that's in an invite-only test. The characters. Man, they're so good. They're still making more too. There's currently 38 characters and they all feel very unique. You have gun carries and spirit carries as well as tankier characters and sports. Characters like Dynamo or Lash have insane crowd control ultimates that easily win fights when landed. Other characters like Haze, Venator, or Viper can just left click you to death. Mage type characters like Sinclair can steal ults from enemies and blow you up from a mile away. There is even characters that specialize in making one person have no fun at all, like Mo and Crow, Doorman, or Holiday. There's a lot of different characters that fit all kinds of playstyles, and itemization options let people come up with some crazy stuff. Some of my favorite characters are Celeste, an unkillable movement god with tons of lifesteal, Venator, an alcoholic Irish priest with the heaviest wooden stakes known to man, and Yamato, the Japanese lady with a big forehead that I mod out of my game because her model is still being worked on. So, let's break down a full-length game of Deadlock. There's a shorter game mode called Street Brawl, that's 4v4 with random items, but that's more casual. The original 6v6 mode is our focus for right now. The game will assign you to one of 3 lanes with a random lane partner. You can see who your matchup is at the top, and you can request a trade to another player. The first 10 seconds of the game is responsible for 80% of the pauses recorded in pause lock. People want to lane with their friends and they're making sure you see their request. After your government mandated pause, the laning phase starts. Minions of all shapes and sizes come out, including a medic trooper that drops healing when it dies. All troopers drop souls on death that are automatically picked up, but there's another component to farming. An additional soul will come out of every trooper that can be shot by any player. This means that the enemies can deny you from earning souls, so you should try to confirm your own while denying the enemy. Melee kills will award the full soul amount without creating an orb. This adds a minigame layer to an already hard to play game. Laning phase has you farming minions, poking the enemies, dodging enemy abilities, praying someone doesn't come gank you, and now you've got to do some aim labs training exercises. Can this get any more complicated? Of course! Every game you have to deal with the toughest matchup in the game, the shopkeeper. There are lots of items in this game that do almost anything you can think of. Basic stat increases like spirit power or gun damage, resistance items, cooldowns, additional stamina. There's a magic carpet, a tractor beam, an egg. There's a ton of items that can make your character super overpowered, but there's almost a guarantee that someone will build something that will ruin your day. There's point and click stuns and silences, giant grouping tools, anti-heal bullets and curses. It's easy to imagine that most games are just lost to poor itemization.
Yo guys, they have 4 gun carries. We gotta get some disarms, some counter building going.
NIKKE, shut up.
Alright, that's cool as fuck.
What you just asked for is not part of my build.
Okay.
Agreed.
Just get metal skin then so you can live.
Fuck no.
Okay, my fault.
Most people just pick a build and try to get everything that makes the character broken, buying items left to right and not focusing on what will help win fights. It's probably a lot easier to win a fight against Apollo if you turn his keyboard off, no? Once you kill some minions and buy some items, there's some special stuff around the map to take note of. 2 minutes in, boxes and statues spawn. These have a chance to drop souls and stat buffs. Break as many as you can for free money. Small jungle camps will also spawn that should be killed. Every 5 minutes, a buff will spawn on both sides of the map on the bridges. These are random gun, spirit, health, or movement buffs. Medium camps spawn at 6 minutes, and large at 8. Alongside the large camps, sinners' sacrifices will spawn around the map at the same time. These are funny gambling machines that will take your life for souls. Punch them until the lights start counting upwards, and charge melee to hit when all the lights are on, and you get 4 random buffs. The soul urn spawns at 10 minutes. Picking it up turns off your abilities, and taking it to the marker on the map drops a bunch of soul orbs for your team to claim. This objective is responsible for every stupid team fight that makes your teammates very angry. The mid-boss also spawns at 10 minutes, but it can be done whenever. Killing it drops a punchable rock that gives a revive per punch to the team with a max of 3. You also get a few stat buffs, but this objective is massive. Losing teams can still get this objective by CCing the whole team when the crystal spawns and stealing the rejuvenator stacks. But you'll probably see your drifter jumping into the pit and getting parried instantly when he's the last one alive. While all this is happening, you're probably breaking turrets. The first one is the Guardian, which protects the store in the lane. When he's dead, the store goes away. After that, there's a big walker. He's a bit stronger with a big AoE stunning slam. Taking out a walker gives an extra item slot up to 3. The base guardians are putting glue on the zipline, so when they die, everything on the zipline goes way faster. Inside the base are 2 shrines that cast evil spells that silence your character if you get hit, but getting rid of them will open up the patron. The patron has 2 health bars. Taking out the first will reduce enemy spawn timers, so they have a chance to fight on their last bit of health. Enemies inside the pit will add resistances to the patron. Take out the patron and you win. Basically, farm minions, buy items, and break towers. If something's in your way, get rid of it. Don't let people push up for free, but don't go too far up when you can't see anyone on the map. And try to get neutral camps when they're around. So, Deadlock is pretty complicated, especially if you've never played any game that's similar. It just kinda combines a lot of stuff from lots of genres to make a really amazing, cohesive experience. There's a lot to keep track of, it's overwhelming, and the matchmaking isn't all that great, but it's a test, and things change. Valve buffs stuff and makes it unbelievably broken, while some of your favorite characters suck complete ass for weeks, but I'm sure it will be amazing by the time the game actually comes out. Yeah, it's still not out yet, and it's extremely popular. Tens of thousands of people are playing it every day. It has no monetization, no real competitive matchmaking, things still change every day, but people are addicted to this shit, man. It's just that good. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. I hope you learned a lot about Deadlock and want to play it. I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Later.